Hello, and welcome to another episode of The Path to Transformation. I'm Tammy, and I'm excited to have you here today joining me. And I'm really liking this topic that we're going to talk about. But before we do that, if you are new here, I started this podcast about a year ago. And my story kind of began after my mom passed away, and I had to go get some help for mental health. And yeah, I realized during the pandemic when I actually began to grieve that I needed to make some changes. And I started my health journey then, and it led me to the field that I'm supposed to be in, which is what I currently do. And yeah, so I am a coach, a sound healing practitioner, a podcaster, and I run a virtual grief support group for 20 and 30 somethings. So I am really grateful to have you here joining in today. And if you are interested in joining the virtual grief support group, or you know somebody that is, just shoot me a DM at TammyU_wellness. And because we always have the doors open for new people to join us. So today's topic is going to be the comfort zone. Dun dun dun. Okay, you've heard it a lot. I know, I'm sure. And this is a really kind of we're going to be talking about like an exit strategy or something, whatever we want to say. So our comfort zone keeps us comfortable, obviously, because one of our innate desires and needs is like we want to be safe and we don't want to be afraid. And what does exiting our comfort zone do? It can lead us to feeling unsafe, and we can feel uncomfortable and uncertain, and we can feel scared. So all these things that we hate, we might feel. And I'm not an expert at exiting the comfort zone, let me tell you, but I have been doing it more recently as an adult, because I never did it as a kid or as a teen. Like, I never did. So it's only a newer thing for me. But there's this quote that I loved, and I think it was on my vision board. If you haven't listened to the episode before the last one of me talking about kind of like a timeline and taking the first step, that might be a good place to start. So that's more about the first step, but this kind of over-encompassing thing for this one is the comfort zone. So life begins at the end of your comfort zone. And that's one quote that always stuck with me. And I was like, holy heck, like, yeah, that's so true. And I used to have it on, I think, my vision board, and maybe in my classroom or something for myself to see. And that's where, when we exit, that's where we have so much growth, and we learn so much. And oftentimes, like, we make some really good freaking memories as well. And I think, when have I gotten uncomfortable? More recent years. Mostly it would have been like moving to different places, or like solo traveling and going to events by myself, and just these things that like are really scary, and like, oh my God, like, what if this, what if that, what if that? And I do them and something comes out of it, right? So I want you to think about that quote, okay? And maybe it resonates, maybe it's not right now. But what could you, or like, how are you staying safe? Or how are you in your comfort zone? Like, with what are you in your comfort zone with? And how can you, or how have you maybe been wanting to exit your comfort zone? So one thing that I'm going to be exiting my comfort zone a lot on is, actually this episode might be coming out when I'm there, but I'm doing a solo trip to a location, and I was really excited. And then the other day I was like a little nervous, because I'm like, oh my gosh, was this an impulse? Like, I don't like know that many people there. I'm not really going for a convention like I was last year on my solo trip. So it's kind of like up in the air, but I really want, my intention is to I need some space and some time to myself. I would love to meet some new people. I'd like to check out some new areas because I'm trying to figure out where I want to more so plant roots, I guess we could say. However you want to word that. And yeah, just to try some new things, get out of my comfort zone. And yeah, so I'm excited, and I don't know, then I think too much into it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I could have just did a shorter trip and this, that, and the other, but now I'm gonna be gone for a week, so you know what? It is what it is, and we'll figure this out. Now, sorry I made this become a pep talk for myself a little bit, but yeah, so I'm feeling a little uncomfortable and uneasy because I'm gonna rent a car as well. For the most part, I'm gonna check after this into that, but yeah, so uncomfortable is how I'm definitely going to be getting. I'm really excited though. It is an area that is on my sun line if you're into astrocartography, so I'm really excited about that. And yeah, it's a place that I've been kind of resisting in a sense because of I don't know, I guess what I hear other people talk about and stuff. So I'm excited to check it out. And I know of people that do live there, and some of them I definitely would love to connect with in person, but I did find out that one person wouldn't be able to. And then I was like, oh my gosh, wait a second, this is totally the universe trying to test me to see if I can really get out of my comfort zone. And oh, the other thing besides astrocartography, my North Node. Okay, now I'm getting all woo-woo for you. If you're not into that, this is also a woo-woo podcast a little bit, so brace yourself. So yeah, our North Node's kind of from what I've heard, for the most part from everybody, some people will be different, but North Node's kind of where you're set to stretch and grow in this lifetime. And mine's either travel and education or being or getting out of town, because my comfort zone is family and living at home life and everything. And so yeah, my North Node, I'm gonna be leaning into that a little bit. So yeah, I'm stoked, I'm excited, and yeah, I'll tell you where I go. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll probably see where I go. But yeah, so how am I gonna kind of lean into this more? I'm going to do some Airbnb experiences. If you haven't done them, highly recommend, especially if you're solo traveling, because then you meet people. So I'm gonna do some of that, and I'm also gonna just sit on the beach, whatever beach I find. I'm gonna do some hikes, and we're gonna see where the wind takes me. I don't know, because then I'm also it is more of a city area, and I am well, I'm a city, I do city, but I do nature, but I do want to be in the city energy a little bit. And then I'm well, maybe it's unsafe. And so there's this whole safety thing too that I'm afraid about a little bit. But then I remind myself about, I am smart, and I know how to look around my surroundings, and et cetera and et cetera. If we want to have a travel episode, I can do that. So I don't mean to go into it too far. But what is one thing then moving forward that you can do to get out of your comfort zone? Maybe it has to relate to this goal that you're thinking about, or maybe just you want to do something every day. Maybe you're like me, and I don't really like phone calls sometimes. So literally making a phone call helped me get out of my comfort zone in a sense. So it doesn't have to be a big giant thing either. It can be a little smaller thing that is out of your comfort zone. I want you to reflect on that. What's something that you can do to get out of your comfort zone? And then kind of what can you do every day? Because that's one thing that I also heard this podcaster like reflecting on, and it had me thinking, but that was one of my intentions like last year that reminded me on my phone every day about like, get out of your comfort zone today. So what could you do each day to help you get out of your comfort zone? So accountability wise, guess what mine was? I made a YouTube channel. So I'm putting these podcasts on the YouTube channel, and probably I'll do some other videos, but for now, definitely the podcast. And yeah, it's out of my comfort zone because I'm like, wait, am I like doing YouTube now too? How many different areas can I go in? But if I like all the channels, if we like all the different spots, time will tell where I'll put more energy. Now I'm venting to you. What is this? Just kidding. Okay, now I have a lunchbox quote for you. Why is it a lunchbox quote? Because it's in my lunchbox, and I was like, whoa, this is so fitting. I can't believe it. I forgot that it was there because I just kind of like thought it was a tag. Then I read it again. So the lunchbox quote is, "May your choices reflect your hopes, not your fears." Nelson Mandela. So may your choices reflect your hopes and not your fears. So my choice to travel solo is a reflection of my hope. And yeah, I really hope maybe I'll meet the love of my life as well. How cool would that? That's like, I feel like that would be, some people always have like the dream of like a coffee shop, or, well, that's kind of one of them, mine, or like a bookstore. But like some people have like a grocery store. Like, I wish I could meet like my partner in the grocery store. Like some people think that. Yeah, for me, I would love to meet somebody traveling. But anyway, so yeah, I really hope that you took something away from this episode. And if you did, and you have a moment to leave an honest review, I'd be so grateful. The way you do that is you just search my podcast, and then when you click it, and then all the episodes come up. If you scroll to like the very bottom, you'll see like the 5 stars that you can choose from, and then you'll be able to like write something. So if you could do that, I'd be so grateful. And if you aren't already subscribed to the pod, hit the little plus sign so that you get the episodes to you every week. I'm so grateful. I know a lot of people have been spreading the word about it and sharing the episodes with their friend. So I really appreciate it. I'm really grateful. And I'm excited to have you along this ride with me, or along this path with me, walking along it with me, because I'm not ahead. We are all in it together. So we all have things to learn from each other, So I'm grateful for you. I hope you have an awesome day, and I will talk to you soon.